Welcome, folks. It's good to be with you. It's good to be with you today. Talk about the truth about ourselves, the truth about ourselves, the truth about the world, the truth about the universe, and the truth about how things are working nowadays. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about what's called reframing. What reframing is a technique used by very far right manipulative people in order to get us not to be able to communicate with each other. It's a thing that they use in order to try to steal the right to define reality for all of us. And we find this a lot. Excuse me, I'm doing is messing around with my camera because it's not working and focusing right now. Had I only known that before I started, I would have corrected it. So here's what's happening. There's a technique that the far right has been using ever since the 60s or 70s, even earlier than that. What they will do is they'll take a word that is either neutral or good and they'll reframe it. They'll make it negative and they'll use all of their money and all of their clout and all of their power to put it all over the media and talk about how negative these good things are so that everyone will start associating the word with something negative. Let me give you some examples of this. Back in the 30s, and even before that, you had the Communist Party. There were many people in the United States were communists, and what they were doing was fighting in order to have labor unions. They were fighting so that children did not have to go into the mines and work, to get child labor laws. They were fighting to get people vacations. They were fighting to get the 8-hour workday, 40-hour week, to get people many benefits. They were fighting for the rights of the people along with all the other people, along with the people they call liberals nowadays. Those in power didn't like it. So they decided to tag some negativity onto communism. So that every time someone heard the word communist, they started thinking about a group of people who were going out and trying to kill and trying to steal and trying to take away the freedom of everyone. In that way, over the years, many people made the word communist a bad name. And then in the 60s and 70s, when people started to use socialism or socialist, they did the same thing. They tried to make it into something bad that people would be ashamed of. And they slowly did that so that many people became ashamed of it. And after that success, you see they made liberal a bad word, something that people would be ashamed of, even though the liberals have worked hard in order to bring about things like health care, to bring in things like education for all people in the 40s and 50s and 60s, to bring about all of the changes that Roosevelt brought to bring about Social Security, pensions, federal jobs that had real benefits. All of those things were brought about by the liberals. But the far right people who don't want any of those things to be around have stolen the word again, shifted them to make it into something evil. This is an old practice. If you look at the church, when it was in charge, you will find they demonized every other religion. They took the good things out of those religions and they made them evil. The snake, the serpent, used to be the symbol of resurrection, the symbol of life, the symbol of the human being to transcend this world and enter into a world of reality. That was stolen and taken. In the story about the Garden of Eden, when they said a lizard came to Adam and Eve, that wasn't enough for them. So they recorded that a snake came to Adam and Eve only because the snake was the symbol of the divine feminine or the goddess or resurrection. So in that way, they demonized even the snake. That is why people are talking so much about woke and complaining about woke. You see, these people who are warped and twisted have a habit that they repeat over and over and over again. You can tell who they are and what they are by watching them repeat the same actions over and over again. And that action is to steal what other people have, to demonize the parts of it they that don't want, and then what they will do is claim the good part and pretend as though they created it. Let me tell you a story about this word, woke. A long time ago, down in the South, if black folks were driving from one town to the next, there were a lot of these white supremacists and Klan members around. They were liable to get stopped or pulled over or killed or beaten. So, one of the things that the driver would say if they were driving with a lot of people was that those people had to stay woke. Don't go to sleep. Be aware of what's going on so you can tell me so I can escape and we can escape together if we need to. That is what the word woke means. The word woke means being aware of the things that are going on around you. And when you're aware of the things that are going on around you, you can respond to those things in a way that can save your life and save the lives of other people. The far right has tried to paint that as something negative or evil. They say that being woke is destroying the country. Well, if being woke or aware is destroying the country, then I think the country needs to be destroyed. It is very ignorant. They're defining a word in a way that has nothing to do with the word, and it makes them very stupid to keep doing so when they know what woke means. But the reason they keep doing it is because they don't want us to know. They don't want you to know. They have tried to steal the word and reframe that word. But my suggestion is that you stay woke because the opposite of being woke, the opposite of being aware, the opposite of being intelligent is basically being stupid. And that is why most of the people who are complaining about being woke in actuality are very stupid. Manipulators who use many words and phrases because they have no solutions for the problems that are taking place today. Their only solution is divide and conquer, to divide people and to keep them fighting while the corporate powers are reaching into all of our pockets and taking all of the wealth so that we all end up striving and fighting and quarreling over 10% of the wealth of this nation. According to real economists, each household should be able to attain $140,000 in income. And that may be an underestimate if we had a better distribution of wealth. But in place of that, we have more than 50% of the people living from paycheck to paycheck and being either below the poverty rate or above it, slightly above it. So, what am I saying? I'm saying that these people are using these words and manipulating these words so that they can manipulate all of us. And I'm saying that the one thing that we have the power to do is to reclaim our stories, reclaim our words, use the words that we have created and worked with all of those years and refuse to give them up to foul players, to evil people. And I'm also talking about going to the original meanings of the words that they claim. They claim to be followers of Jesus, but they're not. They claim to be Christian, but they're not. They claim to be conservatives, but they're not. They claim many titles and identifications, and we go along with it, but it's really a smokescreen. They claim to be pro life, but they're not. They're anti abortion, they're anti choice. So let's stop pretending as though they are pro life because they are pro war. They are against against a decent living wage. They are against health care for everyone. They are against educational institutions that teach the truth. And it's time for us to begin to reclaim those words. And only by reclaiming those words and the understanding of the world as it is and stopping them in their tracks when they try to manipulate us and gaslight us can we as a species be free. It is the gift of the human being to be able to use their minds and their abilities in order to imagine something, to have a thought, and to work together in order to create a society that reflects the beauty that exists in the human heart and all the possibilities that we see. We walk around, we see the beautiful skies, the trees, the earth. We hear of great wonders, things that people are doing when it comes to science, when it comes to medicine, when it comes to exploring the world, going and seeing all of these things. We see all of these possibilities. We also see that nothing like that is happening for the majority of the people. We're starting to see that this scarcity that we have is not a real scarcity. It's one created by a small number of people at the top with a few who are just holding on to those people's skirt tails, trying to catch the crumbs that fall from their table. What does all of this have to do with spirituality? Because they have tried to steal religion and tried to steal the paths to spirituality and either narrow them down so much that they are useless or to block them off. You see, the teachings of Jesus belongs to everyone. One need not be a Christian to learn from the teachings of Jesus or the Bible. One need not be any part of any religion to take advantage of the teachings of the great teachers of those religions. Those teachings are for everyone. And no matter what those in power say, no matter what negativity they cast on to everyone who is exploring a path that they are called to by their heart, no matter what they say, one must follow one's heart's desire. One must take one's spiritual path seriously and find people who will support one in that path, not fake religious people, not people who claim this religion or that and say that only they are allowed to partake of his teachings. No, I'm talking about a pure connection between each person, between you and the divine, whether the divine is goddess or God or creation. It doesn't matter, you see, because all of these different things are the understandings that we have of something that is so great and so large, so vast, and so infinite that it is beyond our understanding. So we tap in to the reality as we can see it. We tap into our understanding of life or understanding that not only comes from our culture, but the way we have learned to read, to feel, to see the world. We tap into it. And what happens when we tap into it is that that power that is sitting there, that divine spark that has created everything that still dwells within us, awakens. We shine like the morning sun, chasing away the lies, chasing away the darkness, chasing away the ignorance, burning off the fear, burning off the prejudices, burning off the false understandings of reality, burning it off like a flame that devours that which is evil and leaves only that which is good, that which is beautiful, that which is loving, and that which is kind. It leaves only who and what we really are, because that is what we are. And so we end today, excuse me, coughing a little bit. If you like what you're hearing, please subscribe, hit the bell, and hit a thumbs up. We're going to keep coming on this channel. I've also left a link below. So if you really want to help us and you want to help yourself, you may want to visit this platform where you can invest and have a good passive income that will allow you the time that is necessary to help build yourself, to help build your community, to help build a place that is built on a foundation of love, compassion, and justice, one that will drive away the manipulation, drive away the lies, drive away the power of those who find ways to creep into the institutions designed to help human beings and take them over. It is time for the children of the light to return. And that is what we are going to do. It is over for those who dwell in darkness and who spread darkness all over this world just so that they can find false self esteem by saying they're better than others. It is over. The light is here. It has always been and always will be. And now the spark is igniting. And no matter what they do or say, we will not only survive, we will overcome. Namaste, everyone. Thanks for being with us. Remember to check out the link below and have a great day. Soon, we'll be dropping another video.